Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce our 4 senior speakers today. And Arvid wants you to know that he dressed like a gypsy today. Thank you.
Many of you know me well enough at school, and a surprising amount of you also know that I am Russian. As I can tell by the oh-so-very clever in Soviet Russian jokes constantly tossed in my direction. But very few of you have actually stepped into the alternate world that is my house. Every day when I come back from school, I enter a completely different existence. And I hope that by sharing a normal day at my house, I can clear up some of the ridiculous stereotypes that people have of Russians. Every day I come home, and like everybody else in America, I carefully make sure to put on my thick fur coat that I keep by the front door before going inside. It is, after all, kept at a nice and comfortable -15 degrees Celsius. Then I kick down the door and walk in. And as would be expected, my dad probably tackles me to the floor and we wrestle our way to the dining room. In the middle of which is a giant pot of borscht, a couple dozen half-eaten plates of pierogi, and many a bottle of vodka. We sit down and he asks me, "So how was day?" And I respond with the customary, "Better than a spoiled beat from Kamchatka." Suddenly, a helicopter flies over our house and drops a giant crate onto our back porch. My dad screams in delight and runs to get the parcel, lifting the 300-pound box with just one hand. He opens it, and inside are hundreds of Molotov cocktails. My dad's KGB friends drop extra ones off when they can, getting them from somewhere near Chernobyl, so you know that they are, as Igor, my dad, calls them, strong stuff. Then together, we sing the Soviet national anthem while he plays his balalaika in the background. When we finish the song, we put on our fur hats, take off all our clothes, get into our 100-degree sauna, and hit each other with oak twigs. After a couple of minutes, we then walk over to our completely frozen over pool and dive in, straight through the 4-foot-thick ice and into the water. After swimming around for a couple minutes, we resurface, having completely transformed into bears. We then climb out, get on our unicycles, and pedal off to carry on with our days. As you may have noticed, I have no problem with these stereotypes. Most stereotypes are not without a grain of truth, and this is definitely true of Russian ones. However, I really wish people also knew what it is truly like to be immersed in a Russian household, where big, burly, white-bearded Russian men sing songs while playing the guitar, the piano, or the accordion. Songs about love, family, and friends. All the things one keeps close when the world seems to be collapsing. Russian literature, as any of you who took Dr. Thornton's class would know, is some of the most crazy collection of works you are likely to find anywhere in this world. And this is all due to the hardships that Russians have endured. I do not want to talk much about all the sadness and pain that has occurred during Russia's history. Some of those events are the reasons for me being here today, and not back there. My family came to Richmond in 1999 due to the horrible state of the economy in Russia after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Also, my grandmother was Jewish and had moved to the United States a couple of years before us to avoid anti-Semitism that was existing in Russia during this time. We had friends and relatives here, and it was simple as that. Those events aside, I would like to highlight what it is that makes me love my heritage so much. I love my grandmother, who survived the siege of Leningrad and makes the best apricot jam known to man. She's the most inwardly strong person I know. I love my grandfather, who died when I was still very young. We call him Birdman because he was able to walk into a park and make all the birds come and perch on his outstretched arms. I love my great uncle, a chatterbox, who constantly raves about stories from his younger years as a construction worker in the Soviet Union. I could go on and on about my Russian family members, distant relatives, cousins, or friends, because none of them are truly separable from each other. When I was younger, I confused friends for cousins and cousins for brothers. I never knew who was a relative and who was just a friend, because to us, everyone is family. Families with whom we hang around with in the evenings, sing songs together, and eat borscht. Lots and lots of borscht. That's all it takes to be family in Russian culture. The atmosphere in my house is so warm and comfortable, I forget I'm in the United States. And if any of you come to visit my house, especially after a party, which we have plenty of, you would be hard-pressed to make me speak English. Describing exactly what it is that makes Russian culture Russian is something that I've been trying to do for years. I have found that the only true way to explain it is to come and experience it. Since I can't invite all of you to my house, I thought I would bring a little bit here. I'm going to play a song that has been passed down through my family for generations. A party is never complete unless the song is played and danced to. It is a Russian-Gypsy tune, originally for accordion, that in my opinion perfectly illustrates the range of emotions one experiences in a Russian household. It is my family's version of a song called Циганочка. I hope you enjoy it, and just be warned, you may have a sudden urge to dance.
Молодец. Записал.
Да.
Просто великолепно. Шапочку нашел. Молодец. Все было правильно.
Hello.
Hello.
Пока, счастливые.
До свидания. Поздравляю вас.
Да, здорово.
Вас также.
Спасибо.